I always mention that if you go to churches in Nigeria, in the south, and go to the basements of the churches, some closed doors and rooms, what you are going to see there, you'll be horrified. There are a lot of people who have mental illnesses that are locked up in churches in the south, and nobody cares about them. Nobody they abuse them.
They take advantage of it.
It's a horrible thing. If you
actually, I have my uncle personally suffered that in Ibadan. I have my mother's younger brother. He was chained for 3 days, but I was deep in church.
3 days is small.
No, it was small because he escaped. He played. He tricked them. He tricked them and said, "I believe everything." He started, saying, "I believe in God and I believe in Jesus." So they took off the shackles and started feeding him. Said they didn't feed him for the 3 days. They were beating him, and then he used that to escape. He's a man who had escaped from Kiri in the past. So that man knew how to escape. But I have somebody in Seattle. When he was 18 years old, this was when Mark of Christ. If you're in Benin, you know Mark of Christ. The guy is now a bishop. He goes by bishop now. When that fellowship started, his mother converted from Catholic Church to that fellowship, and this guy had comic books, the comic book movies that's big now. He had the comic book Marvel, DC, loads of them, because he was born in Brooklyn. They took him back to Nigeria when he was like 2 years old. So he had been buying comic book back in the days. This is late 80s into early 90s, like 91, 92. The mother tricked him into that fellowship. They were trying to deliverance to cast this demon of reading comic book. So he thought it was a joke. Why are you praying for me for this? And they started beating him. So out of the beating, my guy had to say, okay, okay, yes, I agree, I accept. Jesus, he just confessed whatever. There are people who are getting beaten like that. Because if you're being flogged, you will say whatever they want you to say.